Fear of depths. Get a fucking friend.
Early in 1925, headlines across the United States briefly focused on an intensely local and specific story. A man in central Kentucky was stuck in a cave.
Uh-oh.
Collins had underestimated his own caving ability. What felt to him like an easy scramble only
Bro, I could never understand the mindset of a person that would crawl into a dark cave alone and go deep. You have to be so brazen. I don't get it. That's like so all your instincts say this is dangerous and bad and there's no like you're not going to find fucking treasure down there. You're just doing it for fun. Like, what are you're gonna find bat shit.
Sand Cave, where he was trapped, was unstable, narrow, and, like all caves, smotheringly dark. Men would go in to give Collins a drink of water or a sandwich and come out trembling, having barely made it halfway to his position.
That's
100
scary.
hours later, Collins was still in the cave. They planned to tie a rope around Collins and pull him out, even though the walls of the cave could shred his body like knives.
God!
Even though, as a doctor warned, the rope might stretch his organs like taffy. Collins begged them to pull him out, even if they had to pull his foot off, but they couldn't. Officials decided that their best chance of rescue was to dig an entirely separate tunnel in from the surface. It indeed might have been their best chance of rescue, but it wasn't enough. 14 days, 2 full weeks after he trapped himself in a cave that others could barely enter, Floyd Collins had died.
No!
And what was the rest of the country left with? A gaping fascination at what lies beneath us.
Bro, they couldn't get him in 14 days? That's when was this? They had newspapers. Bro, just cut off his foot. 1984? No, it wasn't 84, bro. You're fucking capping. 84 had brick cell phones, bro. They weren't fucking like, how do we get him out? 2002. There's a guy watching fucking a Wedding Crashers DVD. We just can't get him out. No, he's oh,
Today,
wow.
it's the longest known cave network in the world. 2 million people visit that park a year, despite the fact that it is easier in every single respect to simply stay above ground. We just can't resist it.
Bro, I can resist it easy, first of all. Don't say we. Don't loop me in. I remember me and Ari did a cave tour in like Tulum, Mexico or something. And it wasn't like a big corporate cave tour. It was like a dude. And he's like, yeah, I'll take you underwater. And so it was a thing where we're just like fucking going through this cave with this one guy. And we're swimming. And like the swimming part's fun. And then we get deep. And then we get totally underground. Like we're in a watery underground cave completely. Like no light at all. We just have our flashlights. And he goes, check this out. He says it in Spanish because he's telling Ari, but he says, check this out. And he says, all of us turn lights off. And so we all turn our lights off. And it was the most pitch dark it's ever been in my life. I've never seen a more dark. And it was actually scary. It was actually scary because I could not see anything. Completely dead dark. Ari is a foot from me. I can't see her. And it's like, wow, if I drop if for some reason all our flashlights went out, we would never get out of here alive. No one would know we were here. There's no way to figure out my way out. I have no idea how to get back. I would never get out of here alive if we lost our flashlights. And that thought scared me for sure. And then I woke up and realized I've been playing League of Legends for 4 hours. And it was like a metaphorical cave that I was lost in. But still scary. Still scary. I mean, it's still really...
You can stand in the dark with your light off for as long as you want, and your eyes will never adjust.
Yeah.
It seems like, after crawling through a passage, that it should hold a little residual light. It feels like it should remember you were there, that if you look back, the rock you just prostrated yourself on should look a little less alien than the ones you haven't yet touched. But it doesn't. As soon as you turn your lamp away, that area fades back into the void, and once it returns to the void, nothing is familiar. I was
It's so
wrong.
easy to get lost.
And thankfully, I was with people in the cave who were much smarter than me, but I couldn't shake the what ifs from my head. What if I had stumbled in here alone?
Yeah.
What if my light went out?
That's what I kept
What
thinking.
if all I had was my sense of...
That is literally all I could keep thinking was like, if our lights go out, we are going to die. And it's like, okay, I'm sure he's got backups. But I don't know. It was just like, that's all I could think about was like, if our lights go out, there's no fucking way we get out of here. I don't know the way. He doesn't know the way.
Thousands of tiny currents of water, individual drops and streams and rivers cutting their way through the rock on a timescale that none of us will live to see. The sounds of water echo through.
Not none of us. Okay. I've seen every cave when it was a fucking droplet of water on the ground. Okay. I've seen them all made. And to be honest, they're not that impressive.
It seems like everything about a cave is built to mess with how we usually take in the world. The light is gone, the sounds don't make sense, and the space itself is... I mean, this is the real map that my guide handed me before I came in. Look at this. Oh, this clears everything up. And what's more, I feel like I could memorize this hallowed nightmare fuel and it wouldn't even begin to scratch the complexity of the actual...
Yeah, I just realized, bro, if I can't get through Hollow Knight, I'm not getting through a fucking real cave. I'm gonna die and like they're gonna find my body and I'm gonna scrawl like, where's the water boots on the wall. That was my last fucking words.
Caves breathe, have active circulatory, digestive, and excretory systems, can contract disease and suffer injuries and heal many of both, and are constantly growing, just like any other living body.
And I've already made clear my thoughts on...
To be clear, that was like a poem or something. Caves aren't actively shitting. I want to clear up any science misconception here. Caves don't breathe, eat, and shit. All right, they're just caves. They're rocks. Well, they might be. No, they just aren't. It's not a might be situation. They're not doing that, but
There are two main features of Krubera. First are the chutes. These are the things that allowed it to be a contender for the deepest cave. They are what feel like...
Bro, why would you want to go that deep? Did you never see Lord of the Rings? They dug too greedily and too deep. And also, even if you get that deep, you have to get out. So now you're climbing like 1,000 feet up on rock?
Places where the stone just drops away for hundreds and hundreds of feet. This is the howling nothing that pulled the team forward. This is where it was exceptionally easy to lean the wrong direction on your descent rig and fall until you hit the living rocks below.
That's terrible.
Then
That's
there
terrifying.
are the hard parts.
We should make every Minecraft kid have to do this. Every kid who thinks digging for diamonds way down below is fun, we should just toss them in the dark, dude. Make them fucking rappel down 90 floors and come on, find some fucking diamonds, kid. See what you learned.
The cavers found a way forward through a 300-foot-long tunnel they called the Way to the Dream. Ironically, this tunnel is about as nightmarish.
Oh my god, they are Minecraft fans! Holy shit! It's already real! Oh my god, these are all the adult Minecraft fans. They can no longer watch YouTube because they've aged out.
And it was so narrow that you couldn't even fit through on your hands and knees. It was a belly crawl the entire way.
That's terrifying!
I
realized why you do this. If you finally make it 1,000 meters down, through the belly crawl tunnels, past the stalactites, rappel down, that's how you find what the point of the mask is. That's where the secret is hidden. Oh, that is what they're hunting.
How elemental they felt, how untouched, how unnervingly welcoming they were.
What?
I felt it most when I was sidling along a passage too narrow to pass through straight on, my hands bracing against the wall and my feet skirting through the murky water on the ground. Why would this corridor be exactly this size? Why not so narrow I didn't have a chance of fitting through, or so wide I couldn't see the other side? Why did it feel made for me?
Okay, relax, bro.
And I could imagine just continuing down into these caverns. In Playdead's Inside, the game initially appears to follow the language of many 2D games, that is, left to right. But there's a much more insidious journey here, one much more resonant.
I hope they don't spoil too much. I really wanted to play this game. I own this.
One of the most chilling parts of the game for me is the first moment that really highlights this descent. This submarine, when you first get it, feels like a blessing. No longer do you have to worry about holding your breath. Now you can explore these flooded hallways with confidence and light and power. And then, just when you've started to get comfortable, you smash through some loose boards in the floor and find yourself...
Oh, shit. Someone said, Sag, not 1 hour of Atrioc looking for it. Yeah. He ruined the chance for me to be stuck in that room. Like, how the fuck do I get out of here? There's boards on the floor. Chat, there's boards. I can't get past the boards on the floor.
Found themselves stuck again, 5,888 feet underground. The only potential way forward was through an underwater passage, but because the way to the dream was so narrow, they couldn't bring any scuba equipment with them. They would have to dive into the sump, blind and unassisted, and hope beyond hope that there was a way forward.
No shot.
And they did.
No shot, bro.
A moulin is essentially an ice funnel. Glaciers are not solid. They're perforated like the Earth with tunnels and chambers, and in a moulin's case, sheer hypnotizing drops. The funnels are created by water racing along the top of a glacier, eventually finding a weak point in the ice and plunging down.
Sag. Everyone put away your aerosol cans, please. Everyone, please put down your plastic straws.
There is no separation of the mental and physical depths in Dear Esther. They are one and the same.
That's beautiful.
Like the undersea creatures that have lived their lives with 26,000 feet of water as a ceiling. Creatures that quite literally melt when taken to the surface.
26,000 feet?
They were never meant to see the light of day.
Bro, that is as deep as like a plane flies above the ground. That's crazy. As deep as Dream's lyrics.
What is it like to create something that could kill a civilization 100,000 years, 1,000,000 years from now? How do you bury something so deep that it never comes up? Not after history and language and maybe even species has been wiped away and started anew. It's the absurd challenge that faces every nuclear waste disposal plant. And, of course, it's a challenge that's more or less impossible to test. In Underland, McFarlane details the Waste Isolation Pilot Project in New Mexico, a tomb for our nuclear waste set to be sealed about 15 years from now. Half a mile underground, the rooms containing the waste will be intentionally collapsed, then sealed with 13 layers of concrete and soil. And then the salt will start to drip. Because the WIPP is buried in a salt bed millions of years old, slowly that salt will crawl into every crevice, fill in every space left behind. The salt will confine the radiation better than we ever could. It's good.
That's our plan? We're just gonna bury it real deep? Is that smart? We're just gonna put it in a real big hole? Come up with a better one? Don't put me on the spot. I'm not a nuclear engineer. That's our big plan, is we're going to take all our waste and bury it in a big hole. All right. Hey, listen, maybe that's fucking smart as hell. I don't know.
The waste site in New Mexico will be surrounded by dozens of 25-foot-high granite pillars surrounding a wall of earth which surrounds more pillars, which surrounds a granite room engraved with a warning written in English, Spanish, Russian, French, Chinese, Arabic,
Wow.
and Navajo. The warning will read, "We are going to tell you what lies underground, why you should not disturb this place, and what may happen if you do."
Why did we write it like we're fucking elves? Locking away the dark chamber of secrets, bro. Why? Just write nuclear waste. Why did we get fucking Tolkien to write it? That's so crazy. What a terrible way to write it.
Will it work? I want to believe yes. But imagine us, a new species, finding an ancient...
Flash forward 4,000 years and fucking the hyper zoomer Logan Paul 9.0, Logan Paul's great grandson. Look what I found. Let's crack it open. Like and subscribe and I'll fucking crack it open.
Just 2 years ago, a team found a neighbor that was actually some 400 feet deeper, the Virovkina Cave in Georgia. It seems naive to think that this is actually the deepest cave. There are always further passages. There's always a way to keep going. But sometimes there's no way to come back. Cardboard Computer's Kentucky Route Zero is a game that takes place largely...
Okay, this is a good video, but it's also super weird. He just can't, it's like he fused two different reports. Like he had to do a fucking school report on indie games and a school report on caves, and he just fucking had AI mash them together. It doesn't feel cohesive. And he always ends a line in a mysterious way. Just because you go in doesn't mean you could ever come back. Minecraft is a game about... Is destiny what's ahead of us? Or what's been inside us all along? In Mediatronic's Fall Guys, small beans try to correct crown.
Kentucky Route Zero takes place in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. It's a national park established on the death of a man trapped in a cave. Floyd Collins' cave is probably connected to Mammoth somehow, if you followed those sandy tunnels deep enough. That discovery has been walled off for now, though. Sand Cave is gated, bolted, and welded closed. You'd think this wouldn't be necessary, that no one would want to enter the hellish chute where a man died a prolonged death in the dark and the still. But we gate it regardless, because there is an inexplicable, irrational, irresistible pull to these worlds. There is a void, and it indeed does call. Come, see what lies a little deeper.
This world is not my home.
Good video. That was interesting. Yeah, it provoked discussion. Listen, I like when a guy who's as into games as this guy is has other hobbies and is able to connect the two. He's not just only talking about the latest patches of Apex Legends, you know? He's like trying to get some art out of this hobby of ours, gaming. And I respect that.
Check it.